Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to hold it back. I mean, we got our ass kicked. Like that's like, and that's the first time that's happened. Since he's been here. At least I feel like since I've been playing, we have to play harder. We have to be smarter, and we gotta execute better.
Division games always mean just a little bit more, especially in the NFC West. Cardinals versus the 49ers on tap for this weekend. But before we get into the matchup, welcome into the Pulse. I'm Zach Ershman.
We got to eat this one and on to San Francisco.
Briefly taking a look at the game from this past weekend against the Commanders, 42-14. It was a rough one. The Cardinals have already began to wipe the page, but let's quickly take a look into the matchup. It was a tale of two halves. In the first half, the Cardinals keeping it close. However, in the second half, that's when the Commanders' running game really started to separate the two teams. Commanders ultimately coming away with the win. If there is a positive takeaway from Sunday's outing against the Commanders, it's the fast start. Once again, the Cardinals starting off their game in their first possession by putting 7 on the scoreboard. Offensive coordinator Drew Petzing has scripted 4 flawless starts for the Cardinals offense, scoring on their first drive of every game this year. A big reason why is because of the desire of getting Marvin Harrison Jr. involved early on in the game. He scored his 4th first-quarter touchdown and became the first Cardinals rookie since Steve Latch in 1942 as the only first-year players with at least 4 touchdowns in their first 4 games.
But Marv, I thought, actually played his best game.
Yeah, I think a big portion of that start speaks to the players. At the end of the day, I think they come out ready to go. I think that we executed at a high level early in the game. I think that's something to build on. I think it's something we look at and say, hey, I know we can do it. Now we need to do it consistently.
Coach Jonathan Gannon announced that Trey McBride, who was inactive last week against the Commanders in concussion protocol, he is back on the practice field. He's wrapping up that protocol, and he's looking towards trending and playing in Sunday's game. As I started off the show by saying, division games always mean more, especially in the NFC West, when you're going off against the San Francisco 49ers. Their defense especially, when you see number 54 out there at the middle linebacker position, Fred Warner, he's one of the best in the game. And on the defensive line as well, number 97, Nick Bosa, always poses a threat for the Cardinals offense.
They got really good players. And Kyle, like, all good coaches, he continues to adapt.
Cardinals looking to bounce back in the Bay Area, going up against a division opponent, looking to improve to 2-0 in the NFC West. That's all the time we have here on The Pulse. We'll see you next week for another edition.